What's up? What's up? Come on in, listen up. This is Liz Wilcox, and you are listening to another episode of Ask Liz right here on the Smart Passive Income podcast feed. I'm really excited about this one because I feel like you listening might be in the same space, the same conundrum, the same spot as my man Brandon. So before we get into this, remember, Ask Liz. You submit the questions, the link is in the description, and I answer them. And anyone that gets featured in one of these little episodes gets a free t-shirt because why not? Who doesn't love swag? So let's get into it.
Hi, my name is Brandon, and the short form video challenge was one of the greatest things that has ever happened. I'm just so thankful that now I can talk and record myself on videos, which I could never get over that hump before. I'm actually coming up on 60 days in a row of daily videos, which is great. My main question is, how long should I keep up that streak? It takes about an hour to an hour and a half per day right now to maintain that streak. And the problem is there doesn't seem to be a lot of crossover between actually getting those fly by night viewers to a website. So the link in bio is maybe a handful of clicks after YouTube, for an example. Again, that's the other question within a question. I don't have anything to compare to, but just my personal numbers are about 500 views per video on YouTube, and then a few hundred more between Instagram and Facebook. But by far the most traction is YouTube. And I have about 130 subscribers. But again, it's finding that balance of, okay, now that I have what I consider a new superpower of being able to speak and deliver on camera, at what point do I start using that in a different way, aside from just trying to keep this streak going on YouTube? Because I'm not sure if there's supposed to be some momentum building or some big viral explosion that I'm supposed to keep waiting for, or if I cut back on the daily streak and then try to use some of that time on the side hustle itself in a different capacity.
Okay, so before I answer this question, Brandon did not say who he is. And I actually super duper love what Brandon's doing. He's a member of the SPI community. And I actually just did like a 10 things I would do if I was Brandon. I actually just did that today. And then I opened up who was going to be on the show today. And it was Brandon. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm hanging out with Brandon today. So if you want to check him out, because I think his stuff is so, so good and he helps men drop the act and say what they really mean. So if that's all about you, I want you to check him out. His YouTube channel is Goodbye to Good Guy, but TOO. So goodbye, like bye, to TOO, Good Guy. He's really got some really great content, and I can see why his stuff has, around 500, 600 views. And I'm even looking at it right now. He's up to about 700 views. So check him out. He is going to blow up one day. So Brandon, hearing what you have to say is like you are in a very familiar, popular, normal spot where it's like, okay, I've got this streak going, but, I've got some consistent views, but I'm not blowing up. I'm not going viral. And I say this with love. I say it with so much love. Like, newsflash, most people don't go viral. I've been doing this for 10 years. I couldn't be Pat Flynn if I tried. And trust me, I'm trying, right? I'm literally on his podcast, right? It's hard to go viral. It can take years. Pat will tell you that. But what I want you to do, what I heard first, because you've got a couple questions here. What I heard first is that it takes you 90 minutes, an hour to 90 minutes to create this content. I want you to think of a way, first and foremost, to how can you create 3 to 5 shorts in like 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes tops. How can you do that? I'm going to share how I do it, and then you can steal that idea for yourself. Listen, Brandon, friends, everyone that's listening right now, anything that I share, I want you to take and make your own. That's what I'm doing here. That's what Pat is doing here. We are the crash test dummies of entrepreneurship. So anything that I'm doing, take and make your own, okay? So how I create really good, I guess, with a hook, sort of short form in very quick succession is I literally just take a sip of my water, I swallow, I look at the camera, and I say, here's a thought, and then I give the thought, right? It's super, super simple. And then I use some editing software to add captions, and then I'm just done with it, right? And so for me, it was, I teach email marketing. So it would be like, here's a thought. Instead of spending $49 on a product someone's selling to you, why don't you spend 49 minutes trying to sell to your audience? Okay, so I just came up with that off the top of my head. Like, what are some things that you, Brandon, can come up with off the top of your head? Because y'all, if you are not on his YouTube channel, check it out. Like, he's got some, like, he's rapping in some of these. And while that's awesome, I want you to do that. Like, do that on a Saturday when you don't have your daughter. By the way, Brandon is a solo dad, right? So do those, make that a series later when you have time. What series can you come up with right now that's just a little faster for you while also being good for the audience, right? So, what you need to answer your actual question of like, what's next? Do I just keep going and pray for virality, right? No, no. What I want you to do is come up with those quick content creation ideas. And then I want you to come up with a visibility strategy. You've got to get visible. I say it with love. I've already said that. You've got to find a way to network. It's not enough to just post and hope you go viral or hope, you have that it factor. You've got to start networking. You've got to start connecting with other people. Something that I told Brandon in that SPI community audit that he just got for joining the community, by the way, link in the description, right? Is he's got to start getting into dad groups, right? He teaches dads, mostly men, getting into men's groups, making yourself known over there, creating some sort of familiarity, notoriety in those groups. And then naturally things will come up. Oh, yeah, I actually have a YouTube channel about that. Oh, that's a great question. I talked about it in this short, right? Like we're not just blasting shorts, but give advice, become the person in the group. Like, oh, you don't know Brandon? Brandon is really good at helping X, helping with X. Become that person in groups, forums, things like that. Also, expand your network. Now, I don't want you to network up, network across. So go find other men content creators, or even, like you're a solo dad content creator. How can you find like solo mom content creators? How can you do collaborations together? And then on your YouTube, your Instagram, all of that, always be pointing people to your freebie. You said, oh, I don't get a lot of clicks, but making sure you have something like ManyChat in place. But even, at this point, you got like 160 subscribers I'm seeing right here when I pull up your channel. Even at this point, you could do it manually. If somebody comments, oh, I love this. Oh, I'd love for you to check out my site or, join my list for VIP so you don't miss any content, right? And just point them to where you want to go. If you can't afford ManyChat right now, that's totally fine. So also, as far as visibility goes, I want you to pick one of the three. Number one, getting on podcasts. That's how I've done it. I mean, I did so many podcasts now. Pat made me the co-host of this podcast, right? So getting on podcasts, which again means expanding your network, reaching out, things like that. You could also do a blog, right? You mentioned you have a website. Do you have a blog that's going to help you with SEO? And I think they call it GEO, like generative search engine optimization or whatever. It's basically AI will recommend you, right? So look into that, how you can get that done. Or even like public speaking. So you're obviously a great speaker. You have that going for you, Brandon. And so how can you do like virtual summits? A virtual summit is where, I host it, I get you, so-and-so, Shahara, Nahaku, Pat, Chelsea, Steven. They're all going to come and they're going to talk and you're going to give a talk. Go into groups. You can literally go on Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever. Type in like virtual summit groups. Go in there, see what you can see. Again, become somebody known in that group and people will start recommending you sooner. You could also host your own event and reach out to the people you want to work with. And again, network across, don't try to reach out to someone in your niche that's like Pat Flynn level, right? Somebody that's in your above, a little above your level, maybe mid-grade, you're more likely to get the yes from that kind of person than someone who, has been at it for like 18 years or whatever. Anyway, I hope that was helpful. Again, no, we're not going to sit around and just hope for virality, but we are going to continue our streak with simpler content, some kind of content that we can create, maybe 3 to 5 reels or short form, whatever they're called on YouTube, in 20, 30 minutes. And then we're going to focus on expanding our network, really getting into groups where we can become known as that guy so people can start organically looking for us. Also, the last thing I'll mention that I didn't, if you have a Facebook, sharing on your Facebook, hey, this is what I'm doing over here, could work really well. Just be sure to put if you put a YouTube link or a website link or a freebie link, put it in the comments. Do not put it in your post on Facebook. Facebook will downvote it, essentially. Anyway, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. I hope it's helpful, Brandon, and you listening, because a lot of people in the Smart Passive Income audience are at this point. We're doing the streaks, we're doing the things, but we don't know what's next because we're not going viral. I'm telling you right now, it's networking, collabs, it's being very intentional about growing your list with those 2 things. Psst, are you still listening? Quick, while Pat's away, I've got a special little secret just for you and me. If you love this episode and want more, a lot more, you need to get yourself into the SPI community. That's where I'm hanging out as the director. My friend, it really is where the magic happens. You get access to the full Superfan system, Pat Flynn's entire framework for turning strangers into ride or die fans of your business that actually buy from your business, right? We've got courses, resources, implementation guides. It's all in there. Okay, listen up. This is the part where you and I can get really close to your monetization goals. I do office hours inside the community. That's right. You can bring your business questions. You can screen share. Whatever's holding you back, we will figure it out together. But here's the secret. The SPI community, normally $99 a month. But with the coupon code SECRET50, you get 50% off. That's less than $50 a month for life as long as you stay active. This deal is just for the people listening to this Ask Liz episode, so don't sleep on it, babe. Head to smartpassiveincome.com/2026 and use code SECRET50 at checkout. I will see you in there.